Yeah, representing. Hello everyone, my name is Dan and we are team GMU Geographersts. Geographers, all of us is from George Mason University Department of Geography and Geoinformation Science, and we are current PhD students. And our topic is link house through spatial thinking. So basically, we want to show how geography is solving housing problem using their spatial thinking. Now I'm gonna do a quick introduction, and people talk about sharing a lot nowadays, like a share bag and also share room like Airbnb. So our team slogan for this housing project is sharing is caring. So we hope to build a sharing economy to create synergy between government and industry. So like we know, government is about fairness and market is about efficiency. So how can we combine the advantages of these two parties? Very important. So I think the key is that government can create maybe a shared data portal or IT portal to allow market players to make their the innovation and serve for more individuals who need this kind of service. So here is the challenge and solutions we propose. And so current status is we hoping to we know that from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, they offer some data and service for the customer who needs some special housing. But those information is very limited. And also by the private sector like Zillow or Redfin, they have a lot of information about housing, and they have that large database to share the more information about the details of each house. So we hope to combine these two services together, and so that the customer can directly through our web mapping application to directly searching and also doing some updates through the system. For example, the landlord, they can update and edit the information and even upload their photos through our platform. And for the applicants, they can searching the house they need through zip code. So first we do a quick search through the Alexa about the general information, visitor information about Zillow and the VHDA, and we found that it's well obvious that Zillow have got a very high rank of visitors, and they have many data from on Alexa.com, and because of the VHDA, they have very limited information, and so that maybe not too many visitors. So the linked house idea, I think these are our advantages. We hope to build a standardizing database accessible API for users, and we hope to volunteering the mechanism to allow private landlords to contribute by themselves. And also we hope to get policy support from government. So like, for example, it's very think about Google Translate market up a language to help create a huge tools for transit applications and website markets. So now here is the visualization of our interface. From the first picture, as we can see, we can visualize all the housing with the accessibility information shown in the map. And when you click each dot, you can find the detailed information about the like address and bedroom numbers and more information. And we also can have a function, you can do a heat map to show which part have more denser available houses. And also, if landlord they have their own picture, they can actually upload by themselves, and each picture will save as a link in their record. So when you can so other people can, like applicants, they can check those pictures through when they just simply click the point. And we also do some spatial. Later on, Monfei will do a quick demo for you guys about our platform. So another thing we want to talk about is that we also do a quick demographic analysis. We made two current plan maps for both young people and old people, and in Fairfax County. And through this two maps, we can see which area has more young people and which area have more old people. And the unit is actually the census blocks. No, census tract, sorry. And so this step, we are hoping to prepare for our next step. So our future work is more focusing on problem 2. How can we matching the young people and old people, like save budget for young people, but also help to care about old people. So we hope to add more functions in our application to help match old adults and young people together, and also build a platform for landlords and renters to help them communicate conveniently, like instant message box. They can just type in their information and communicate with each other. And the third is we can add more transportation information, like few bus stops and also metro stations into our information platform. Now, Monfei can do a quick demo about our web mapping applications.
So the data we choose for this simple demonstration is two sources. One is from the Uniform Federal Accessibility Standard Units from Fairfax City Data Portal. So totally there are 87 records, and they are labeled as blue marker in this map. Make it larger. And those red point is the data we randomly choose from the Zillow API, and it's from all residential address of Fairfax County. So totally it's 800 of them.
The total number of the Fairfax residential addresses we got from Zillow is actually 300,000, but because the limitation of our current database, so we only show randomly select 800 samples in this visualization.
Sorry, can I stop you because I don't want to miss this important point. What's red dot and what's blue dot?
So the blue dot is from the UFAS data that we got, and
the blue dot is actually the Uniform Federal Accessibility Standard information from the Fairfax County, which is in the shared link of our data list. So and the total number is only
the blue is the government data, and this is Zillow's data. That's two types of data.
Is it housing?
Yes, housing.
Rentals.
Yeah.
So we want to combine those commercial data and the government data to see if we can match them to do the information sharing. So first we add a very simple search function here. So for example, if we are looking for the house in Centerville, search by zip code is the first step. And we could also check the basic information of those houses. So we could say the government house, we have as basic information, but we have nothing about the information of the house, like how many bedroom, how many bathroom, and the year of the build, but we have the information of the accessibility. So that's the data we got. But the data from Zillow, we have those information, like we have the how large it and how it sold last time, but we don't have any information about the accessibility. So we want to combine those two different sources of information together. So our next step is to upgrade our web application. Is after we could after the verification of the ID of the landlord, they could upload their information about accessibility and the photo from our user interface, and then we could match those records from the government record. So we could like to share the information between the commercial source and the government source to get a better platform. Yes.
Yeah, I think I can make a conclusion. So basically, what we're trying to do is to help like the team one. So basically, we want the government have an API that can share the information to allow innovation in business sector. That's a very simple idea because right now the government try to build a website. Honestly, it's not so good, right? Yeah. So what we're trying to do is not a very good interface here, but in the back end, we combine all the government data source and create a commonly accessible API. So think about Zero. We use our API to do their own algorithm to optimize. So that's our main idea about sharing the data from government to the business. That's the key point, and that's the most important thing. It's not the government to do all the work, but the most important thing is the government to share the data with the business sector so that like the team one can make their own innovation. Different diversity of the company, they will make their own different innovations. Okay.
Thank you.
One second. I have another makeup. When we use the private data, for example, when we want to find the house, we will use a lot of the commercial software. And if in our application, we have another hypothesis that if the landowner wants to share their house with disability or anything else, for anyone else, if they don't have such of the assessment, like they didn't have such style for their house or the equipment for their house, they can use this platform to make some application that I want to enhance our home for disability, for the aging people. So we want to have two interfaces. One is for the renters, one is for the landowners. So they have to connect with this application. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Questions from the judges? Great job, guys.
I have a question. So what keeps a Zillow, for example, from adding a bunch of additional fields that have to do with accessibility, right? So they've already got loads and loads of data that get crowdsourced basically by both sides of the ledger. Why wouldn't they just go ahead and do something like this on their own without government involvement?
Yeah, I think that, like I said, because the policy is decided by government, so this is very sensitive issues. They don't want to, so that's why I think we suggest, our team we can build a standards because government is the expert. They are not. So they should be careful about this kind of thing. So they are conservative on their standpoint to make this kind of innovations. So government needs to provide the standards with the easy accessible for their programmers to use the data. That's, I think, yeah, because this is really sensitive. They don't want to quickly to do something that without government support. However, right now, as what we really have a bad experience with this hackathon to collect data. That's really the pain point of business side, right? You want to include the things for the people. Like even the team one will have same experience like us. Really painful to collect all the data. So our idea is to create an API with one line of code. In like if you see our code, just one line of code. We call the database with all the government certificate information to pass to the Zero, right? Yeah.
So a similar angle that I was kind of curious about. Because you want to fuse these two, and you want to learn more about the Zillow data, right? You want more information on the accessibility. Am I understanding that right? Right? How do you get Zillow to play ball in this game?
Because our API. So this information will hold by the government, not hold by Zero. So Zero basically they will share the data from government on this information.
But to Sean's point, why can't Zillow just say, give us additional information on your house? Or
so I can give the example that we already mentioned about the Google. So the transit data. So before Google, like 3 years ago, they do the transit standardizations. So government has all kinds of transit data out there, but no innovation is happening. But when Google helped the government make a standardized API, the language of the data, you can see in the last 3 years, all different apps, websites come out of the market. Why? Actually, it's not because government don't have the data, because they don't have an API for the data. So that's why I think this is our focus. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I have some makeup for your question. And for example, for a commercial company, if they provide more information, it's very hard for them to check the data. For example, you said this house is disabled friendly, and how to prove it? So if we just give a checkbox that it is, no, it's not for the commercial company. It's for the government's duty to check the house. Yeah.
I do have another question if I didn't want to monopolize, but how are you going to make money?
Yeah, so it's our lab with our professor. It's a professional thing. We build a database to serve different, we're working with NASA, So if any government wants to cooperate with us, of course, we maybe like have an entrepreneurs. So we build that a license fee or something basic checkup for, this kind of, so basically government is pay the taxpayers, right? So government can have a funding, help us to build the infrastructure. Of course, the data will be free to the people who wants to use our database, our APIs. So I think this is the free for the market to use, but we will make money through the government project. I think that's the public sector fundings, right? That's the.
Can I ask a quick last question, maybe?
That's not our expert.
You talk about government as though it's this monolithic thing. But you've got local government, you've got state government, you've got federal government, you've got different agencies and things like that. Have you taken that into account, or are you really thinking about government as monolithic and they tell us what the rules are?
Yeah, I know it's different in US. Definitely. I think that if any opportunities, we are open to discuss with them. But I think for this kind of project, of course, local government is the key players. So, if there's any opportunity, you can reach to our lab. We can build a portal. It's kind of a portal that put all the data in one source and helping the business to accelerate.
Guys, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You guys did a great job.